The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys!
This is the Players Lounge, broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star. Now, your hosts, Barry Church, Danny McCray, Heckma Harrison, and Newey Scruggs.
Players Lounge, down to one show a week.
Man.
Because the Cowboys are no longer in the playoffs. So
They out of this thing.
here we are. One time to chat, talk.
That's craziness.
At least another home team lost.
Yeah.
It's not the only ones.
That's what we roll.
Yeah.
That's what
I'm trying to look at the bright side, okay? The bright side. We're not the only home team that has lost in the playoffs.
That is silver lining right there. Thank you, Danny.
I was rooting for the Packers, too. I was like, this will make me feel good.
Oh,
were you?
It made me feel a little better anyways.
It was rolling a little bit.
It made me feel because it showed you that it wasn't necessarily just a fluke. We went out there and we played horrible, but we all know what we thought about San Francisco before the Packers went up there. Like, they had no shot, and they had a shot to win that game.
It was there.
And I mean, maybe it sounds cliche now when you say any given Sunday, but I felt like LaFleur, again, not for being familiar with him and seeing the way that his team has responded to play since Aaron Rodgers departed, they're going to be a problem. That's a problem brewing over there. And Jordan Love is a quality quarterback, but man, this analytics thing is gonna get somebody fired, bro.
Yeah,
Analytics is gonna get
Already did.
I didn't even mean to look at you when I said that, bro. It wasn't even like that, but I just don't understand it. When that Green Bay game, I just kept telling myself, why is LaFleur doing this? Like, you could have won. He could have won that game, making the right decisions, getting down the red zone, going for it on 4th and 1. Those 6 points cost them. Cost them the game.
He wasn't the only one. But I don't understand. We talking about these games. 4th and 5 in that game yesterday? Buffalo versus Kansas City. In your own territory. I think it was like on the 30. What are you doing, man? Your defense has played decently the entire game. Kick the ball away. You gonna go with a fake punt?
DeMar Hamlin.
4th and 5. Hamlin. He ain't played all year.
Don't touch it, Newey. Don't touch it, Newey.
Give him the rock. Give him the rock right there. Let him come on, man. This guy ain't played running back since high school. Y'all gonna put him a fake punt. You better off chance of letting Allen go out there and see if they can get it. They're running a fake punt.
And it's crazy too, because if they don't run that fake punt, then they probably don't get that fumble through the end zone.
That's true.
Right? So, but it's still a bad decision, right? Because you don't know that's all about that. I'm just like, hey, man, your defense hasn't played horrible. Yeah, they caught fire a little bit, but you gotta still depend on your defense to be able to make a play at some point.
I legit said when they did that fake punt, I said, that man's trying to get fired. Yeah. He's trying to get fired.
But you were Miko Hardman saved the day for everybody.
Oh, Miko.
By the way, this is Players. That's Barry Church, Harrison, Danny McCray. I am Newey Scruggs. Yeah, man. Yeah, so Kansas City wins 27-24 to get back in the AFC Championship game. I thought the Bills would win this one.
I did, too.
I did.
They missed some opportunities now.
Diggs
with the drop, like him with the bad throw. Well, he got hit. Okay, he got hit. What? They had an opportunity to win that game.
But he fumbled the ball, and they didn't pick it up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was huge. That was huge.
They kept dropping picks. I mean, so, I hear both sides of it. Dan Orlovsky today is out there on ESPN, caping for Josh. They did this wrong.
Man, that's so lame.
They be giving him so many excuses.
They're like they didn't watch the game. But, he had some quality throws. I mean, I was one throw, I think, not corner the end zone, right at the pylon. I was like, man, that's a dot. Only him with his arm strength can make that kind of throw.
He better have some quality throws. Hell, what you mean?
I'm just saying.
No, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying he better have some quality throws. Hey, let me tell you something. Pacheco was helping the running back market.
He ran hard,
man. Because you get a guy like that who you didn't expect to do that last year, and you see that once again it's not a fluke, right? And you see a guy like Gibbs who's also helping the running back market, where you say, okay, these are the type of guys who deserve to get paid. $10 million, $11 million. When you got guys, you seen the angle route they ran out the backfield?
Yes.
Like you have to, you got to be able to do stuff like that. Christian McCaffrey, Gibbs, those type of guys, you got to be able to do that. And if you can't, you got to run like Pacheco.
He run like something wrong.
What?
He
like,
run.
I'm talking about to be able to close a game out like that, get 8 yards on first down, right? When everybody knows you about to try to run the ball, like to be able to do that, you got to be a special type of player. So shout out to them, because I seen somebody saying something about they can't do nothing. Oh, Jordan Love can't do nothing without a run game. Gonna tweet us. I said all the teams in the playoffs got a run game.
Got a run game.
What are we talking about?
Or at least they use the running back. Yeah. At least they using.
Which one? Lamar and Hill and all the guys. Dalvin Cook got out there, had him a big time run.
Yeah, a couple runs.
Cook last night with Josh Allen, running game. Pacheco, running game. I mean, all these teams got Detroit. They all got running games. I don't want to hear it. Like, you have to be able to do both. Play defense and run the ball. And I think that's when you look at the Cowboys and you say, well,
must be nice.
Can you run the ball?
That's got diced up. Yeah, they got diced up.
Must be nice. I wish I had one of those.
But
first down, run out the clock.
But the thing about it is, those teams that we just talked about, they had that all season. We've been waiting for the Cowboys to show up in the run game and make sure you can stop the run on defense, and then say, okay, we're gonna limp into the playoffs because we have 2 good games or decent games where we stop the run. Them teams been doing that all year.
No, there's your hopium right there. There's the hopium. Yeah. Hope we can run the ball. I hope we gonna unveil this running game. I hope. It never happened.
Phrases used. We like our guys.
Yeah, oh, man.
Man.
We heard that.
Okay.
Do they like each other? No, I'm kidding.
Stop.
No, we gotta open that one up.
We got a long off season, though.
What they say? He ain't it, huh?
People's brothers,
mamas, brothers, aunties, uncles.
That's real, right there. Because you know it's coming from. I ain't saying it's coming specifically from the player, but they voice some expressions that if their parents or the brothers or siblings got enough, to be like, I'm gonna go online with this. It's coming from somewhere. It ain't just, I'm gonna say this because this is how I feel as the brother or the mom.
It's pillow talk.
From somewhere.
It's just from a family member, so you can't really call it pillow talk. It's pillow talk.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You go back in the crib and you think you having a drink and you just shooting, you know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden it come out, he said this. I'm like, I didn't mean it like that.
Exactly.
This wasn't for public
consumption because you mad. How old these people are on Twitter?
That's what I'm saying.
Man, I'm telling you, listen, you old school folks, man, hey. Sometimes, because the young folks struggle with it, so I already know once the old folks get to it, they gonna really struggle with being able to hold it. Huh? Because this is why. So Lil Heck just went on Junior Day to University of Texas.
Congratulations!
Right? All right. So this is what happens. All right. He start getting into Twitter beef, or somebody start talking about him, an adult. And then here you go. You know what I'm saying? Here you go.
Hey, man,
I'm just telling you. It happens. That's my son. No, hey, you talk about anything but my son. I've seen it many times, bro.
We are media trained.
You mess with me and mine. That's what they say.
And I'm going to retweet it.
Hey, my thug thumb's ready. Thug thumb's ready. What you say, cuz?
I know. He going to be on Players Lounge and everything. Talking about, y'all saw how I lit him up.
You seen this? It was interesting. And look at the platforms because CD Lamb's mom used Facebook.
Oh, man.
That's how you know. That's how you know.
The book. Big difference.
That stuff was on X.
Big difference. MySpace.
She on Facebook going crazy.
So what was the beef about? She was just upset that.
You were saying that Dak trash.
Oh man,
get rid of him. That's what I read. I haven't. Has anybody confirmed that was really his mama? Allegedly.
Okay. Allegedly. I thought it was confirmed. So it's
I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna say allegedly.
The morning news put it out there. They gathering it all together, pushing stories out there. So. My man Tad Prescott responding out there and to the Dak stuff. So Micah's coming back saying, "My brother didn't speak for me." Yeah, man.
How many yards CD had this? Yards and catches did CD have this year?
How about this? The man was 1 vote away from unanimous All-Pro, and that's not good enough.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, man, it's wild. Man.
It's got to be a PR nightmare to have a situation like this. But then at the same time, here we go hijacking the news as teams are playing divisional rounds, but for all the wrong reasons, man. I hate it. I personally hated to see it. And look, being from an NFL family, I thank God that there was no social media around. For my uncles playing or coaching as well. It's tough, man, because nobody loves his brother more than Terrence does. He lives, bleeds with his brother. So when there's that disappointment that's there, I know his words are for the disappointment in hearing people come after his brother on Twitter and in that space. So, look, it's a knee-jerk reaction, but the truth is, man, we're all hurting in that sense from a fan base, and we can't separate him from his blood and what he's saying, but it just looks horrible to everybody else on the outside.
I will say this to bring it back to the football realm is, when are, these star players that we consider stars and, the upper echelon of the Cowboys, when are they going to be able to take that next step into the playoffs and lead the team? Because when we look at it, other teams, Mahomes, he steps up for Kansas City. Even Josh Allen, in some regards, stepped up for Buffalo to win those playoff games. Look at what Jared Goff's able to do out there. Those stars perform in big-time games. When's the last time, we've seen the star-studded Cowboys perform in a big-time playoff game? I'll give you, last year with Tampa Bay, them boys went off. They balled out. But that was against,
I was about to say, make sure you know that was.
A little caveat.
That was an ailing Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
That's what I'm saying. When is this team going to, the stars going to play like they do in the regular season? And we come back to this word pressure. We come back to the word pressure. And I understand, we don't like to hear that word, but there has to be some type of pressure on these players when they get to these big time moments because they pale in comparison to what they're able to do in the regular season.
True. Now that the season's over, can we just go ahead and say this, and be real about it? Can we be real about this fact here? The competition that we beat up on in the playoffs, in the regular season. Because you just said when we don't show up in the big time games.
That's facts.
The big time games that we played this season. Okay, the Seattle Seahawks, the defense did not show up. Dak Prescott showed up, but you look at Buffalo, no. San Francisco, no. Detroit let us off the hook. Yeah. We put up 21 or 22. So they let us off the hook, went for 2-3 times. Yeah. So when you looking at Miami, went up there, didn't play well. Like when you look at the big time competition, the playoff caliber teams that we played against, we didn't play well. So I think now when you look back and you say, I think it's fair when people were giving that assessment of, hey man, when the Cowboys play against upper echelon teams, it just don't look the same as it looks when we were talking about historically great defense, or all of a sudden the flip is switched and Dak Prescott and them look different. Yeah, they look different. Not against the ones that have been playing since week 18.
Yeah.
Yeah. It hasn't been the case. So for me to feel comfortable going into the season, now that Mike McCarthy's coming back and we got the whole season, I gotta see us we play a first place schedule next season. When you play against those teams, you have to perform. And that's the only way that I'm going to be able to sit through the whole season and be like, I think we got a shot. Because other than that, 12-5, I don't care what it looks like.
It don't matter.
Hey, I got news.
Don't matter. 12-5.
I got news for you. We're going to finish 12-5. let me go ahead and tell you right now. Let me get you ready. Everybody get ready. We're going to be 12-5 next year. We're going to kill the regular season. We're going to run through the regular season. We're going to beat some teams everybody may say, oh, man, y'all supposed to lose to those guys. But it's not about that anymore. Nobody cares about that. What do you do when you get to the playoffs? And I'm watching this. You guys have been watching the playoff games, and all I'm seeing are teams competing. That's it. Green Bay didn't bring me any resolve to see them lose, but I just love the way that they competed. Yeah. In a game where I think everybody, even the pundits, were saying that they're going to get ran out the building, and they didn't because they went out there and they competed.
They did.
Texans, first you said you looking at the game, you saying, okay, offense didn't show up, defense showed up, special teams showed up, right? And you watching the game, of course, like as we expected, once Lamar and them started getting hot and figuring it out. But that team, who was literally who we thought was playing with house money, new head coach, rookie quarterback, right? You didn't expect that to be the case when they went up to Baltimore, and they went up there and they looked totally different. I think we are us in Cleveland.
It was 10-10 at the half.
Yeah.
It was 10-10 at the half in Baltimore. And then Lamar said he cut some folks out at halftime, and it was 24-0.
It is.
Yeah, I mean, they were playing, but us in Cleveland didn't show up.
That's what it takes. You cut some folks out at halftime.
At least somebody did it.
Yeah, that's
true.
MVP Lamar, though.
Yeah. Hey.
Holy.
I have nothing to say. I'm done.
4 touchdowns. 2 on the ground, 2 in the air. Quarterbacky.
that boy good.
Yeah, that boy real good.
That boy good.
He showed up.
He the MVP, man. Shout out to him, man. Because he look, well, that's going to be, some good football games going on this week. And I'm telling you this, I'm not picking the Detroit Lions, but I sure hope they win.
Yeah.
I sure hope they win.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to continue. I got a guy that's coaching. He's a linebacker coach, Kelvin Shepard, on the roster. And we've been talking about Dan Campbell and how these dudes play for Dan Campbell.
That's right.
And he has a coaching staff full of former players.
Yeah.
And it's a reason why it translates to from what they were to what they are now, because the belief that the players have in the coaches, because they've been there and they've done it before. And you just get to watch it and see it, and it looks different.
Yeah. Can I ask y'all a question real quick? Do y'all think it's more important for the head coach to be able to relate to these players and to get the players to believe in them, or having a guy that's like a Shanahan where his system is what it is and it's successful because it's a productive system? But do you think, getting over the hump wise, is it the coach that can relate to the players, not necessarily calling offense or calling defense, but motivating men out there? Do you think that's more important quality of a head coach, or the X's and O's that come with it?
I'm just going to say this. I'm just talking about Detroit. Man, they came out of that tunnel looking like they were not going to be denied. And the way that they reacted and responded, I mean, it was a back and forth game, but they responded. They competed. And I can only put that to their coach, who everybody, like, some people thinks he's a weird guy, but man, nobody gets the attention of their team like Campbell does. And they play for him. So I don't like the X's and O's. If your scheme you got to put them in a position to be successful anyway as a coach. Mm-hmm. But the fact that they go out and they competed the way that they did, it speaks volumes about what you just said about the coaching staff and the way that they go out and compete for them.
I think it's the Dan Campbell type of coach. It's the who do they respond to, right? Because I think that lends to accountability, right? Because now I think if you, and I don't know this to be true, but if you're on the Detroit Lions and you miss a tackle, somebody's holding you accountable. Mm-hmm. Either a coach or a player is holding you accountable, but not knocking you down, but saying, hey man, let's pick this up. If we want to go where we need to go, then you need to make sure that you on your P's and Q's. Oh, you out of your gap? Nah, dog, we not having that. All right, come over here. Let's make sure that we own our stuff. And if we lose the game, we going in and we watching film as a team, like that type of stuff, that accountability, because Dan Campbell has made sure he communicated that. All the speeches that you see in on Hard Knocks and all that stuff, you can tell that is how the team operates. And I think that is what makes a great team. Even talking to D. Ware about what they had in Denver, he's like, because we were a team and we held each other accountable. People held me accountable. I held Vaughn accountable. Like, they held each other accountable. And I think that is the mark of a great team. And you see it in Detroit. Yeah.
Staying on what you're saying about holding people accountable in the room, I think as a coach, you can do it several different ways. Chuck Noll wasn't sitting around yelling at anybody. Nope. Tom Landry wasn't yelling at anybody. Tony Dungy neither. But they all held everybody accountable. Those men give you that stare. You see about John Shula with the stare. Mm-hmm. Jimmy did it in a way more like Dan Campbell, and it works. Dan obviously was under Sean Payton and Bill Parcells. They did it a certain way, but all of those coaches held you accountable. And then the type of clubs they had, the men in the room held each other accountable. And when I think about the Cowboys right now, who's holding each other accountable in this room? And when you all saw the videos that Emmett and Michael Irvin put out there, and to me the underlining thing was they were saying, too many of you guys wearing the star are acting like you've done something or you've put up a banner and you have not. And it's embarrassing.
That's facts.
I think it's embarrassing for the former player. When you talk to them off camera and you just get, unfiltered, and it's not right. Yeah. Right. They'll tell you right now, they look at these like, these guys, these dudes.
Well, yeah, and then you go into the weekend and you see the foolishness on social media, be it your family or not. I'm still calling smoke where there's smoke, there's fire. Yeah. So somebody said something somewhere, but that is still an issue to where when you're talking about those type of guys and they look at it and they say, oh man, not my Cowboys. Yeah. Not my Cowboys.
Yeah. Believe it or not, you see nothing from Philly. Believe it or not, as messy as that thing ended. So Mike McCarthy says he will not take responsibility for anything in the last 20 years. Let's recap Mike's press conference as he's coming back to the Cowboys.
Mike.
Right here on the Players Lounge with Barry Church, Heckman Harrison, Danny McCrabb, News Scruggs. This is Players Lounge, brought to you by Tostitos on DallasCowboys.com radio.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the Playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
Hi, I'm Danny McCray, Dallas Cowboys alumni player here with Smoothie King. And Smoothie King wants to ask you, what's that sound? That's the sound of us magically transforming our smoothie bowls into 2 new decadent flavors. Dig into a cool acai or pitaya bowl, handcrafted with crunchy, purely Elizabeth granola, fresh strawberries, and finished with a velvety chocolate hazelnut drizzle. Perfect for breakfast, lunch, or anytime you want to munch. And that's the sound of you making them disappear. Smoothie bowls, now in 2 new decadent flavors. Only at Smoothie King, the official smoothie of the Dallas Cowboys.
To kick off the 2023 NFL season, Hugo Boss teamed up with the NFL and Micah Parsons to launch an iconic apparel collection featuring hoodies, crews, t-shirts, polos, joggers, and more. The bold, unique apparel of the Boss NFL collection unites football and fashion while reflecting what it truly means to be a boss. Get yours today at nflshop.com/HugoBoss, at HugoBoss.com, and at Boss retail stores. Hashtag be your own boss.
There is no I in Dallas. There is no I in Hart either. No I in Blue Star or in Lone Star for that matter. And there's no I in how about them Cowboys? Smirnoff knows there's no I in football. Football is a we thing, an experience that is best enjoyed together. With good drinks and good folks, home or away, we rally together, we cry together, and we always rally cry together because there's definitely no I in Cowboys fans. Smirnoff, we do game days. Please drink responsibly.
Back to the Players Lounge.
Sean Polite is your 2023 Cowboys. Yeah, your 2023 Cowboys Fan of the Year. Now he needs your help. Vote for Sean to be given the ultimate title of NFL Fan of the Year presented by Captain Morgan by casting your vote on NFL.com/Fan of the Year.
Thank you, Heckma Harrison. Barry Church is here. Danny McCray is here. I'm Newey Scruggs. The Players Lounge brought to you by Tostitos. So Mike McCarthy held a press conference on Thursday, and the Cowboys announced, well, Jerry put out a statement the night before saying McCarthy's coming back. They believe in McCarthy. 1 year left on the deal. Mike sits up there and was asked at the press conference about things, and one of the things that stood out to me is when he said he will not take responsibility for the last 20 years.
What did they ask him? Do we know?
I can't remember the exact question, but they asked him.
I want to know why he was saying.
Why should people believe in you? Okay. And you know, he talked about how we have a championship program, just have resulted in a world championship, but you know, he believes in himself. All that.
Not
but
the NFC
me,
tie.
It was very reminiscent of the time Shaquille O'Neal said, "I won on every level except college and pro." My dog didn't say that.
Goodness.
But yes, championship program. And in my mind, I just simply said to myself, the very reason why you were brought to the Cowboys was because the last coach couldn't get this team past the divisional round. Mm-hmm. And the coach before that couldn't get the team past the divisional round, and the coach before that. So what did you do when you talked to Jerry? I know how to do this. Mm-hmm. I've won a Super Bowl in your building. Mm. So you used everything to get the job. Now you want to go back away from it at the end. Nah, dude, for 4 years you've been here. 3 times you've been in the playoffs. And the 2 home games you've had, you've looked embarrassingly bad, like the team wasn't ready to go. You now are a part of the last 20 years. Don't sit up here and back away from the table, because all I know is we watched a dude who used to play here, Dan Campbell, get hired a year after you, and he's gone further and taken Detroit places, and he had the whole thing on his shoulders, too, about all the things in the past that were. Those 2 crowds at Ford Field, them folks was out there for the last, hey, man, it's been bad for 30 years. They were there for that. Yeah, and they brought the energy. They did their part, and his team did his. And Mike wanted to talk about, don't look at me for the last 20 years. You know what, man?
I ain't going to lie to you. In my head, that's what I would have been thinking. I wouldn't have said it out loud.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Some things you process and you don't let out.
That wasn't me, huh?
Like, hold on. I don't know them guys. I wasn't here. Like, I'm not. Of course, I'm not taking responsibility for it. But I understand the fan base, and I understand like how I need to speak to the fan base. Where I'm not putting myself out there to say that. I understand, Mike. You wasn't here, but also if you don't get it done, you're gonna be a part. Like Newey said, of the last few regimes that wasn't able to get them over the hump. I like you, Big Mike, man. I thought you was cooking this year, especially against the bad opponents. You was cooking.
Lamb.
Okay, so now Big Mike got another year where we ain't gonna hear they figuring out the offense. It just wasn't clicking, and we learning each other, all that stuff. Now we don't have that, and it's the last year to deal. Jason Garrett was the whole same situation.
That's
so
it.
I guess we'll figure it out.
2 times Jason had to coach last year of his contract.
This reminds me of that meme when they say when you lie on your resume. This is it. I mean, first of all, the whole press conference was cringe. It was cringe. And the cringy part about it was it took him, that long to have the press conference because there were so many questions about whether he was coming back at all. You have to make an announcement to say, oh, he's coming back. But now you're coming back without an extension. So how do you maneuver around a guy that is, coach pro tem? You're only going to be here for a limited amount of time unless you strike gold. I think that there was nothing that Mike could have said that would have been positive that anybody would have took. He just gave them more one-liners to take and say, wow, he actually said that. The truth is, I commend Mike for standing up there and taking those questions because they question his character, they question his championship pedigree and everything that he's done in the past. But the truth is, Cowboy fans, nobody cares about that. Nobody cares. And like you said, Newey, he was brought here to get this team over the hump. And he hasn't been able to do that. He hasn't been, and not only was he not able to do that, this year's team just looked like they were not even interested in the most pivotal moments. And so, look, I don't know where Mike can go right at this point other than just completely selling out, to make this year be his best year. And especially it's all going to count for him when he gets into the playoffs because, look, this team was one of the healthiest teams in the league going into the playoffs. They had every reason to be able to compete. And as we know, no year is the same. And so next year, you may have those injuries. You may have a litany of things that you have to deal with that makes that be a slide. And we know we'll be sitting here all year talking about, is this it? Every game, is this it?
He did that to himself.
No, he did.
You got a contract extension. You had 2 home games. Everything he wanted was right there. Same for the quarterback and all-pro linebacker, everybody. Everybody. What Detroit did was what you were able to do. Set up for you to do the same thing. What you do? Pee down your leg. Again at home.
Again at the crib.
Again. And then you going to stand up there. Don't look at me. No, we looking at you.
Yeah.
That's why you're here. Okay? I'm one of the dudes who, hey, man, get Jason Garrett up out of here. Can't get it done. Well, dude, you ain't done anything more than Jason.
That's facts.
Oh, he about to start getting the JG treatment?
Damn right.
Give it to him.
Okay. Because Jason was a first-time guy. He came here telling us about, hey, man, this is what I do. I got a championship program. Dude said he had a championship program.
He did say that.
He did say that.
He had one, like back in
14
in Green Bay. He was taking responsibility for that. He left them with that championship program.
NFC championship banners around here now. We run the East shirt.
He was thinking it. He wasn't supposed to say it.
I wouldn't have said. I understand. I understand what he means, but I'm just not saying it out loud.
Here. Hey, Super Bowl coach coming here. Guy who's won one in the state. I bought into it. Hook, line, and sinker.
I remember. You were full of Kool-Aid.
Brought it in. Yeah. Remember, I brought the Hawaiian Punch blue Kool-Aid.
Mixed it up and everything.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Yes.
You and Barry.
So now
I was there too. Let me get a cup of that.
So now when you talk about no extension, that's his fault. 100%. I have no sympathy for Mike on this. When you go hire somebody out there, hey, man, I got a 1-year deal. Okay. All right, but shake some ass. Better get out here and do something.
Shake some ass.
Kiss some hands. Wait a minute.
You said hands.
Whoa.
You said hands?
He said hands.
He said hands.
He said
Oh, it sounded. I was like, what?
No, I actually did. But bottom line.
No, you
bottom
said
line,
hands.
man. This is a problem.
No, it is. It is.
And people are getting tired of it, man. They're tired of it. They don't want to hear it anymore. And if I'm Mike, this needs to be rolling downhill to the players. Go up in the locker room. Hey, man, make some tackles.
Yeah.
Hey, catch the ball. Block somebody. Do something. Because we're seeing other people do it. To watch the Lions, to watch the Buccaneers, to watch Houston, to watch these other teams. And if you're a Cowboy fan, you should be upset. Like, really? Heck, man, you talked about your son going down to Texas and how awesome the facilities were. Yeah. And you talk about out here, the facilities are awesome. You talk to players who come from other teams like, man, this is all great. Everything these guys want to compete and win is here, and it's not getting done. And, you know, the fans should be upset. They should be mad. And when I hear that stuff from McCarthy, I told you, man, I spent that run covering the Texas Rangers. Bruce Bochy is sitting around there talking about, I got a championship program. He didn't have to. You know what? He went out there, did his job, got it, picked up his 4th ring. It is such a big difference from what I'm hearing over there and what I'm seeing around here.
That's true.
It's just ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous, and it has to change at some point in time, man. And it starts with the head coach.
It definitely starts with the head coach, and it comes down to something we all talked about earlier in the segment 1 was accountability. I mean, you look at it outside of Dak Prescott, because I believe Dak Prescott, when he gets on that podium, he says, hey, it's on me. You know, I didn't play well enough to get us. He's the only one of these players that's taking accountability. When you look on the defensive side of the football, as great as Micah Parsons is, what does he do when he gets online? Man, they're holding me. What y'all expect me to do? I'm getting double team, triple team. There's no accountability on this team. And when you talk about Mike McCarthy, he doubled down this year. He went out there and said, you know, I'm going to get rid of Kellen Moore because I'm calling the plays out here. I'm going to be able to get us over the hump and get us to that championship level. And when you get into the biggest of moments, you're not able to do that. So he has no one to blame but himself in this situation. And I believe you're right when you talk about he's got to go down to that player's locker room. He's got to get in that locker room, in the mix, and understand and get a heartbeat of this football team. You know, where are we lacking at right now? Why is no one taking accountability outside of our quarterback? There's got to be some things that are changing in this situation because he's on a 1-year rental right now. I mean, we're keeping it a beam. He's on a 1. If he don't get it done this year, he's 99% probably going to be gone. So he is on a 1-year rental right now, and he's got to change his locker room. He's got to change his team overall.
Is this a situation where you start to say, well, I know Jason Gary just said the right kind of guy, okay? You need a few of the right kind of guys, those hold you accountable type of guys who not only hold you accountable, but then their level of play is there, so they have the legitimacy to say, hey, man, play like me. And if you're not, then just get on up out of here and we'll figure out how to get this thing done without you, right? Come here and do the right thing. Study the right way. Get out there, discipline, penalties again. Make sure that you're being held accountable when you having these pre-snap penalties. Like, you have to have a group of players that are like that because it looks like, you know, because we do have D-Law and then you got Dak Prescott. But outside of that, when I'm talking about, like, leaders that speak up, how many do we have on the roster? Tyron Smith's not that type of guy.
No, they're jumping outside right there on the opening drive.
Yeah.
And I'm at these games. You know, doing my post-game thing right next to the locker room. When you sit there, he's one of the first people. He's actually the first person out of the locker room after each and every game. Like when they lost in a playoff game, there was no, I'm going to sit here, I'm going to talk to the media, and there was none of that. He got dressed and was gone. And I'm talking about Parsons right now. I mean, the best player on this team, there's just no accountability to it. There's no like, man, what can we do to get better? These guys are in the locker room and they gone.
Yeah.
There's no just, you know, man, as a team, like, how do we get better? There's none of that. It's, I did my job, I'm gone.
Barry, that's the most disappointing thing to hear. You know, that's the most disappointing thing about all of that is to hear that. And when you talk about leadership and guys holding other guys accountable, because that's the only way you build that championship culture. It can't just come from the coach. At a certain point of the season, the players got to be the one delegating to each other. You know, if any good coach loves that. You know, I've interviewed enough coaches to say, man, my players are the ones that are leading practice. We don't even have to be out there because they're taken care of because they're holding each other accountable. But you can't hold guys accountable when you're the main one giving that culture of excuse giving. Yeah. You can't be the guy that's out there saying, hey, do it my way when you're the guy that's jumping off sides. So I agree with what you're saying. You have to bring in those kinds of athletes or those kind of guys that have been there, done that, but have a strong record of being a leader. And I think that's what Stephon Gilmore, to me, that's what he was brought in to do, to be that, because he's a guy with the skins on the wall that can say, I've been here, done that, and follow me and do it my way. But all of that gets drowned out, especially after an embarrassing loss like that. And you're talking about a guy leaving the locker room, not, standing in the line of fire. That just makes it even more embarrassing after the fact.
Who is it?
Micah didn't talk. Tank didn't either. They
be out quick.
Is it Bertier and Campbell?
Which one?
Yeah. Just sit down and let them watch Remember the Titans, and you want to talk about accountability. That's the type of stuff that I'm talking about. I know that's just a movie, but I'm just saying though. But that's a group of guys. Movie, I know, but a group of guys who hold each other accountable as a team, to where sometimes you see the coaches sit back and be like, "Nah, let them go ahead.
Yeah.
Let them go ahead and figure it out."
And I may sound kind of old school with this, but you was in those locker rooms as well. When you take a tough loss, people getting cussed out. Teammates are yelling at each other. Something's going on. You might have to break some stuff up. Why weren't you doing this? Why weren't you? Man, after these L's, I see the Cowboys. The locker room's as quiet as a mouse. People just getting ready and getting up out of there. There's no
Jalen Smith. Jalen Smith. I remember the time, and you guys may forget it, but there was an NBC Sunday night game that got flexed. The first time ever, a Cowboy game had gotten flexed by NBC since they started. And they asked Jalen Smith, feeling about this in kind of way? He's like, nah, man. Owner ain't tripping.
So I remember that, yeah.
It's like, wow. So now you comfortable kicking off at noon.
We used to have them condom commercials and it was a lifestyle. Man was paid $500,000 to get buy all his jerseys up. He comfortable. He all right.
And that's
there's no
that dang lifestyle commercial.
Oh God.
We're gonna take a break right now.
Yeah, man. Come on.
The owner ain't tripping. I ain't tripping.
Lifestyles until Tostitos right here. DallasCowboys.com.
Bro.
To kick off the 2023 NFL season, Hugo Boss teamed up with the NFL and Micah Parsons to launch an iconic apparel collection featuring hoodies, crews, t-shirts, polos, joggers, and more. The bold, unique apparel of the Boss NFL collection unites football and fashion while reflecting what it truly means to be a boss. Get yours today at nflshop.com/HugoBoss, at HugoBoss.com, and at Boss retail stores. #Be your own boss.
Hi, I'm Danny McCray, Dallas Cowboys alumni player here with Smoothie King. And Smoothie King wants to ask you, what's that sound? That's the sound of us magically transforming our smoothie bowls into 2 new decadent flavors. Dig into a cool acai or pitaya bowl, handcrafted with crunchy, purely Elizabeth granola, fresh strawberries, and finished with a velvety chocolate hazelnut drizzle. Perfect for breakfast, lunch, or anytime you want to munch. And that's the sound of you making them disappear. Smoothie bowls, now in 2 new decadent flavors. Only at Smoothie King, the official smoothie of the Dallas Cowboys.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
And they snap it to Prescott, who looks right. It's not there. He escapes left. He'll run for a first down.
Just like football, when it comes to crypto, it's important to have a team you can trust. With blockchain.com, I know I'm in good hands. Since 2011, they've been trusted by millions around the world to buy, sell, and trade cryptocurrency.
Prescott's going to run this himself. Run it up the middle, and he scores.
Whether you're new to crypto or an active trader, they've got you covered. What are you waiting for? Get started at blockchain.com.
Back to the Players Lounge.
The 99th annual East-West Shrine Bowl will feature 130 of the nation's top NFL draft prospects on Thursday, February the 1st at the Star in Frisco. Tickets are as low as $20, are available at shrinebowl.com. Proceeds benefit Shriners Children's.
All right, Steve Sarkisian and Steve Smith Sr., by the way, been selected to the East-West Shrine Bowl Hall of Fame, and they'll both be inducted on February 1st, so they'll be here. So
shout out.
Yeah, man. Make sure you get out there, check it out. Game will be here at the Ford Center. All right, Danny McCray, Heckman Harrison, Barry Church on New Scrubs Players Lounge, brought to you by Tostitos. So the Final Four is set. It will be the Kansas City Chiefs going to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. Ravens a 2.5-point favorite, and the 49ers are a touchdown favorite over the Detroit Lions in the NFC Championship game. Super Bowl will be in Las Vegas.
Okay. Hey.
So we picking today then?
We might as well since we don't have a show the rest of the week. So let's go
Thanks
ahead.
to the Cowboys.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Hope those rims come in.
28 years and counting, guys.
We supposed to be beating up on the Lions.
Supposed to be the rematch, Craig. This is the rematch.
Nah.
Ain't it?
They let us off the hook the first time. I ain't on that.
All right, so give me Baltimore.
Be more.
Give me Baltimore. Lamar go quarterbacky and give me a 24-21 Ravens victory.
Yeah, this be more's year. Give me Baltimore in Baltimore. Give me 31-17. Yeah, I think it's gonna be one of those. It's gonna be one of those. Yeah.
Yeah, based off of what I saw, man, I'm going to go with Baltimore as well. I think Baltimore will pull this one out. I'm going 35-28. It's going to be a close game.
28-24 Baltimore Ravens. I think they give this Kansas City defense everything. Running game, quarterbacky, likely look really good out there, man. You going to have him and Andrews.
That's going to be nasty.
Their defense looks good.
Baltimore, Hamilton, the safety.
He cold.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
He cold.
And you need one of those. Everybody need one of those.
And they played without Humphrey last week.
Yeah.
Still was out there.
So we've got Detroit
D-Town
at San Francisco, and the 49ers are a 7-point favorite. They did escape from the Packers. Once again, a field goal kicker can't do his job, and it cost the team. I hate it for our guy, Rich Bisaccia, who's the special teams coordinator for Green Bay. Give me the 49ers to win this one, and I think it will be a close football game, but give me the Niners to win 30-26.
Yeah. Give me the Niners as well. They can run the football. I think they'll be able to run it on Detroit. So give me the Niners 28, Detroit 21.
And this probably one of the hardest because of everything that we just said about Dan Campbell. That's why this is so hard to judge this game, especially, and also the way that Green Bay competed. But I got to go with the 49ers on this one. I think 49ers will be able to shut that running game down. Green Bay had some success that I didn't think they was going to have in the running game.
Yeah, I'm going Detroit.
Got score. Which one?
Oh.
Man. I got to pick it, right? Let's go with something close. Let's go 24-21.
So I'm going to stand on this island on my own, okay? I'm going to go Detroit Lions. Debo Samuel's 50-50, according to Shanahan, on if he's going to play or not. And we see what they look like without Debo Samuel in the game.
That's true.
Brock Purdy looked a little average in that game.
He did.
And this running game for Detroit, I think, is going to give San Francisco all the problems that they want with Gibbs and Montgomery. So I'm going Detroit Lions 31-21. 10 points.
Wow.
Detroit.
Hey, look, man. If Dan Campbell is there and Aaron Glenn and Brad Holmes and Jared Goff, good for them. I'll stand up and clap for them. It'd be a great thing for their city and their team. And Jared Goff is from the Bay Area, so if he can go back on home and win in front of his family and friends.
Man,
hey man, you know,
Laporta healthy. I'm just looking at their squad. They have no reason not to go up there and put up some numbers on San Francisco.
Do you know a Detroit and Baltimore Super Bowl?
Oh man,
the whole city will smell like Old Bay. They smell like Old Bay, boy. Hey, that crab be cooking up crab.
If you're a rapper, you make sure you hosting a concert out there.
Yeah.
sold out.
Sold out.
Sold out.
You make sure you get booked and busy out there. They're gonna be lit for Usher.
Man,
I'm telling you,
they're gonna be lit
off the chain.
Throwing stuff on the stage. They're gonna be
No,
lit
you know
for
what they're throwing
us.
on the stage.
You and Newey, y'all out here reckless today.
No.
Ain't gonna be nothing but mouths going around. Hey, you want the mouths?
Lighters sold out all across the city.
Guys on the outside just man, this is wild. Cartiers, Gators, and Miles.
Hennessy Crown off the shelves. Ain't none left in
Covaseers.
All Remy, all that.
All the Black and Miles go.
The wine, black and white. They gonna be Incredible Hulks all day.
Everything gone, baby.
What you sipping on? That's that Hulk.
It's gonna be fights in the street.
Oh, what?
It's gonna be like it was, man, back in the day when the Tyson's fights were there, man. You go to those hotels, boy.
Man, off the chain.
I mean, people walk straight up. Hey, man, can I get your credential? No, I'm wearing it.
My brother, man.
What? Them craps tables? The craps tables is about to be
all the sayings and the jokes. Nobody moved but me.
Nobody touched the money.
Moved but me.
It was when the Tyson fight came in Vegas hotel. It was different.
Yeah.
It was different. A lot different.
How many gold chains and diamonds you go?
Let me get a lot different than the De La Hoya. The De La Hoya Chavez fights were a whole lot different. The Tyson fight came.
We all know what's coming. Those two cities converge on Las Vegas. Get ready,
man.
And Cowboy fan will just be watching.
Yeah, we'll be watching it. Hurt again.
Somebody get on a heater on them craps tables. Everybody gonna be on one table.
The referees that missed the game. Everybody,
hey, leave it. He hot.
All right, so
20, he 20.
We'll convene next Monday right here on the Players Lounge, and we'll dissect some more of the championship program and what you do going forward here. Clearly. We'll dive into the defensive line.
Oh, guys, a must.
And how that has to be fixed. It has to.
Is he on Tacos level right now? Is he? Mine's on Tacos?
You know, I'll say this.
Ridgeway here.
We got rid of Ridgeway.
If I'm Will McClay, please don't draft another player who played for Jim Harbaugh. Good. That's that. They should tap out on that. Tap out on it.
No white tees. Get your white tees.
That's hardcore.
Tap out on that.
That's hardcore.
Man, boy,
tap out.
Trying to play DB out here.
All right. Good stuff, guys. Everybody stay warm out there. Stay dry. Keep your chin up. The sun will come up tomorrow.
Knew he hired the twerk.
We in the lab,
Goodbye.
baby.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!